Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fortress Comic News, episode 244. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside my magnificent co-host, Mike.
Hey, Mike? I'm here. What's up? I don't know. It's, the holidays are approaching. Spider-Man comes out next week. I was trying to figure out when I'm going to see it. I don't think I'll be seeing it till, I don't know. But I'm worried about spoilers, so I really do want to see it Thursday night.
I'm going to try to go Friday, if not Saturday, but it's going to be rough because I'm just going to avoid the internet because I know. I didn't care about the Eternal spoilers, but this one, I'll be mad if it gets spoiled for me.
Yeah. Oh, for anyone still, coming here for the interviews and not just Chris and I, we do have an interview today. Mr. Steve Mardeau, he's got a book with the Black Caravan imprint over at Scout Comics. We love Scout Comics. Stick around for that, or just stick around because we're going to talk about movie theaters for 20 more minutes. No. I don't know. I completely forgot Eternals was a movie. Did I tell you about my the theater at my apartment complex and how I rented it out? I just wish I could do that for every movie, and then I realized you have to actually go to the theater for Spider-Man. So,
Yeah,
it's a tough life.
This has been the nice thing is I've heard horror stories of Regal and whatever the other chains are across these states, but I still have a local theater that nobody goes
to. Yeah, there's a couple here too. I mean, the seats are very uncomfortable, but if you can deal with that.
Well, pre-COVID, they were trying to redo all their theaters. Now the only problem is they got the big leather seats and everything, but they don't have the footrest.
You need the footrest.
Yeah, so I would have rather you skipped out in the leather a little bit and got me some footrest.
Yeah,
but
if it reclines, that's all I need. I just need full reclining.
But it's better than the old these old red chairs that were ragged and nasty. So
that were like corduroy.
Yeah,
fabric. Oh my god!
And they kind of went back a little bit, but I'm not sure if that's just because they're from the 70s and they're starting to fall
because they're so old. Yeah, because there's so much give to the nuts and bolts on them. Yeah,
I look forward to seeing that though.
I'm trying to see it as soon as possible. So
yeah, I have a similar situation to you where the place I'm moving into has a gigantic fucking TV. So I've just been James Bond, Venom, all these movies. I'm just I guess I'll just wait till I move. And I have, nice.
Watch it on the big screen. We'll jump into the news because there's some stuff I want to talk about.
Let's do it.
Prime Video announced this week that The Boys is getting an animated spin-off series called Diabolical. The series is said to be an anthology series based on The Boys' Prime Video series. Shocking. And it's inspired by the Animatrix. For those of you that don't know, the Animatrix was an animated Matrix movie.
It wasn't a series of 30 to 40 minute movies, or
I think so. I don't remember. I just remember someone in a mech suit shooting those robot bugs. I don't know if that was the Animatrix or the Matrix. I can't remember.
I remember. So I wasn't the biggest Matrix fan in the world because the first one's an amazing movie.
Yep.
All that, but it kind of slowly fell off after that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do remember when that happened, we didn't live in the world we live in today. So it was when it came out, we were all freaking out. Oh my God, look what they're doing, all this cool world building stuff. And
right.
Now it's cool.
Yeah. Now you come out with one movie and you're is that it? You're not going to create a universe out of this? And
yeah. When's the sequel coming?
Yeah.
I'll check it out, though.
Yeah, I'll check it out for sure. Love The Boys and anything pertaining to that universe.
Yeah, and the preview promo thing had Carl Urban in it too. So
yeah, how do you not go see it now?
If he endorses it, I'm in.
Yeah, for sure. Hawkeye episode 4. So another thing was, my mind was blown this week watching Hawkeye episode 4. If anybody remembers, we talked about last week, I did not realize that the actress that plays Kate Bishop is from True Grit. I didn't realize the actress that plays the mother of Kate Bishop is Lorraine. She's always like the lead characters in all the James Wan horror movies, like The Conjuring and Insidious. So I didn't see that. I didn't realize that either. So I'm pretty much just a terrible podcaster and pop culture encyclopedia, because I miss, and I love those horror movies. So
can I give you one more?
Yeah.
So in episode 1, we saw Kate's father before he passed.
Okay.
That actor played Shrek in Shrek the Musical on Broadway.
No, he didn't.
Dead serious.
I gotta quit. I gotta go.
There's pictures of him everywhere, and it's hilarious.
Are you serious?
Yes. It's been all over like Facebook and all that shit. So,
oh man, I did not. If I saw that meme, I would have been very confused.
I laughed hysterically, and like nobody else got the joke. And
yeah,
but I don't care.
I do that a lot. He dies in the first episode. Oh man, this episode was fun. You got to see. It's weird because you see Kate and Hawkeye bonding, and then you see them like splitting up at the end. So I thought the Christmas scene with them like decorating the tree and getting drunk was really fun.
Yeah.
We keep hearing more and more about this watch from the Avengers compound. We don't know what it is. I believe we don't know what it is or what it does.
I'm not 100% sure. It's got to be. I mean, I feel like they want us to believe it's connected to Tony because it's a Rolex.
Right.
I almost wonder if it's connected to Cap somehow, though. Because when we saw it, it looked a little older.
Yeah. What you know what I'm thinking? Like, what if it's like a Tony Stark watch, but also like there's nothing technological about it? It's just sentimental.
Maybe it's like maybe it's his father's watch, like it's Howard Stark's watch. That's why it looks older. Like maybe that's the. And Hawkeye's just like, I'm a good dude. I'm going to help Tony out, even though he's dead.
Like, what if? I mean, you think Tony must have had a plan for when he died to like leave all his thoughts and notes to someone. So maybe they're on that watch. Something like that, like a big brain trust, you know?
Yeah, I'd be interested to see that.
Yeah.
I love that scene, though, because it really started to show... One, I've really been enjoying Clint in this series, because he's finally feeling kind of like Hawkeye to me.
Yep.
And then having him and kind of the diametric opposite of him being Kate and like how she goes about everything kind of recklessly. And I'm enjoying that dynamic a lot. So like when he's like planning out how he's going to escape and how he's going to get into the building and everything, and then she's kind of like walks downstairs and goes to the front door.
Yeah.
Like, that was a funny moment.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
And I like that she's starting to gain her confidence and feel like Hawkeye.
Yeah.
But possibly my favorite moment of the whole episode was when Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell showed up and started kicking ass.
That's all I could think of too was Splinter Cell. What was the one I used to play it online all the time with like the night vision glasses? Dark something.
So I remember the online one was called Mercenaries. I can't remember if that was Double Agent or
it might have been Double Agent.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the reveal at the end that it was Black Widow's sister.
Yeah.
So.
Which is nuts. I honestly, I'm like, I did not expect her to show up in any possible way.
It was spoiled for me, unfortunately. So, there was like some article that popped up that was like, she wasn't allowed to say anything, and I'm like, about what? And I'm like, oh man. I'm like, I shouldn't have read that. Yeah. So I think solid episode. I think obviously him and Kate aren't going to be split up. He's just trying to protect her. And I think the show's been great. What more do you want? You know?
Not my favorite, but I am really enjoying the character work in this series. That's probably my favorite out of all the series, like the character work. But
Also, like, I don't know if the Avengers have a mental health counselor on staff, but Clint needs some fucking help. He has severe PTSD.
Oh yeah,
from the like, you know, his family disintegrating. They show it in this episode, like his best friend falling off a building or falling down into a pit of hell. These people need help.
Listen, I fully expected to watch the credits and see like written by Tom King.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I kind of, you know, I'll say I wrote a tweet this week that I think I deleted because I don't want to get too upset at. I think it was Variety wrote an article about the top 2021 comics this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of upset me because the two they had from DC were, first off, like, they had a bunch of DC and Marvel stuff, or like imprints of DC and Marvel, and links on Amazon to all the books. And then at the bottom of the article, it says, like, we get a kickback from all the links that you click for these books. So obviously, they're going to start the article off by only picking books that are located on Amazon.
That's how these websites make their money. If you ever go to a website and you're clicking on a link that goes to Amazon, they're going to kick back every time.
But that immediately told me, like, for the article, they're not going to include any indie books. And it didn't. Like, there was no Scout Comics, there was no Vault Comics, there was no Ahoy Comics. There might have been a Bad Idea issue on there. But it was just, like, it was kind of me being very grumpy about it. And then there was a typo on The Good Asian, so... which I wholeheartedly agree with. The Good Asian's amazing book.
Yes.
And I don't know, it was just weird to me. It was like, man... Like, and you know, but the two books were like Tom King's Strange and Adam Strange book, and then the Rorschach book. And I'm like, I think this person's just giving Tom King like the best books of the year, just to give him the best books of the year, because like these are definitely not the best books of the year. You know,
I gotta go back and finish those two because I fell off both of them.
Yeah, me too. And if you like, yeah, maybe a completed story is great, and I think we've agreed that Tom King is really good at that. But if you can't hold me onto a series, you know, I don't like just release them as trades, dude.
It's tough because I've heard him say on like interviews and whatnot that he basically writes it as one story.
Yeah,
like he writes down the beats to say like, you know, this is where issue 1 ends, issue 2, but it's like for him it's just one big story and he hands it in.
Yeah.
So he's not writing like what your average Marvel or DC writer is writing, which is issue at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why he's no longer doing ongoing stuff.
Yeah, right. But anyways, I digress. Oh, yeah. Movie news. There's not something listed here, but there is a article that popped out about the Batman and the screenings. Apparently they're showing 2 different screenings of the Batman. There's no confirmation but on who the character is, but they're supposedly showing 2 screenings, one with one character and then the second screening with that character removed, and trying to do some like, you know, market research. But Chris and I were trying to speculate who that might be. I think it might be the Joker.
I think it's obviously Kite Man.
Yeah, it's obviously Kite Man. You know, Rainbow Raider, Crazy Quill. I can't even say Polka Dot Man anymore because fucking everybody loves Polka Dot Man.
If you really want to blow my mind, like, I'm going to say this just because I want it to happen, because I keep saying this will never happen, and then it happens. But if you really want to blow my mind, if it's fucking Condiment King.
Yeah. Yes. Like a serious Condiment King.
Oh, dude. Now I want to. Yeah, I want to the dark origins of Condiment King.
Like he like, instead of web shooters, he's got mustard shooters, and they're like super acidic mustard that like burns people alive.
That's like, dude, I wrote this whole, like, I never actually wrote the comic. I just wrote kind of the Bibles for the characters. But there was one villain I wanted to do, because it was all based on like our shitty villains thing. I'm just like, I want to come up with shitty villain after shitty villain after shitty villain. Yeah. And my favorite one was still Custard Commando.
Custard Commando,
who was with K's because it's cooler that way.
Oh yeah.
But he made this substance that looked like custard or like ice cream. Mm-hmm. And he dressed in an army uniform with a clown makeup on, and he would throw it at you, and it was acidic, so it would like burn through walls and shit. So you just like throw it at the wall and like enter the building.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Man, I want to read that. I think we're gonna land on it's probably the Joker.
Yeah,
and I think it's because is it too soon? Is it not too soon to have Joker with the Batman after it's gone so well the last few times? I
mean, we're doing Penguin and Riddler in this one, right? No other confirmed.
Well, Catwoman, for sure.
Yeah. She's a villain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So who else? I mean, Bane, but I feel like, who knows? I mean, Batista's been yelling a lot about playing Bane, so maybe.
I heard they're removing Alfred. He's just going to talk to himself.
It'll be like the Imposter. Alfred was reasonable and was like, "This is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this," and left.
It's like the movie The Others with Nicole Kidman, where like Batman's walking around Wayne Manor talking to people when he's the ghost himself and he's already dead. Alfred's just living there alone and he's been talking to the whole time. He's like, he's not even alive. Oh man, that's the fucking Batman story I want to read. Grant Morrison would write some shit like that.
It'd be interesting if it was like Robin or something.
Yeah.
Or like Batgirl, or like some extended part of the family, or even if he's like been doing it a little bit longer and it's Nightwing. Although,
but
we got Sparkly Vampire. He's kind of young still, so.
Oh man, but I feel like if you got to market test it, it's got to be someone. It's got to be someone people are going to be talking about when they leave the movie.
Yeah,
right.
I just wonder because if it's Joker and we haven't heard a peep about it, it goes back to like things I said about Reed Richards and WandaVision and other like rumors that popped up. Where I'm just like, if we haven't heard about it, like even anything, it seems like I can't believe it.
Right? No, I agree with you. Yeah,
especially Joker. Like, unless they got some no name to play Joker, which by the way, WB, please do that.
They did. There was rumors that some guy was casted. I don't know if he talked about it, but I had never seen him in anything, or I saw him in something, but I would not expect him to be Joker.
Yeah, and this isn't even like my normal shots at Jared Leto or anything, but like, don't get the next Jared Leto,
right?
Because like, it's gonna be if you do it right, it'll be so much better if it's someone we don't know. I mean, it's gonna suck for their career because they're gonna be Joker forever, but
I don't think they'll mind.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
the amount of money you get paid for that.
Let's do the paycheck and they won't mind. All right, let's do that. Let's go over the Marvel side for that. They announced that this week that Shang-Chi will have a sequel. It's in active pre-production. Also, Disney Plus is working on an original series spinning out of Shang-Chi, part of the MCU. Yeah, let's go. More kung fu. I don't see anything wrong with this.
The sequel seemed obvious. I mean,
yeah. But now a TV show? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so who do you think the TV show will be about? Would it be about the like Ra's al Ghul and his gang of thugs, or
Ra's al Ghul? I don't know. That's a good question. They could try to do something like they did with the failed, miserably Iron Fist show. Where like maybe he's got to go around to the different gangs, and Marvel doesn't feel like Marvel can't have a movie without connecting it to some giant villain or like have some big cinematic event. So maybe they'll do the TV show and have him like, the House of the Daggers, the House of the whatever Hammers, and have their conflict between all the different clans. That'd be sick.
What I think would be cool, and I would seriously doubt they'd do this, but when at the end of the movie, spoilers for Shang-Chi, which is on Disney Plus, so you have zero excuse.
Right.
At the end of the movie, when they go to the alternate dimension, and then the Pokemon Ninetales shows up, and they're with that clan, they mentioned something about like like the reason they had to seal the door and all that.
Yeah,
it'd be cool if they like did a series based on that event. And it was like, it was kind of connected to what's going on, but it's just like, here's the standalone, like, cool kung fu story set in, like, feudal-ish era.
Yeah, if they do that and go, like, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I'm still gonna fucking watch it, because that's awesome, too. Like, yeah, whatever they want to do with it, I'm in. They could go 2 different routes, I think, so.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, your idea is way better. Your idea is way better than mine, so I'd rather watch that.
Yeah. Shang-Chi was good. I'm glad that we're gonna get more of them.
Yeah, and the guy who's playing him is just a treasure.
He's the best. Yeah,
he's cool. And he also agrees that DoorDash is way too fucking expensive, so I can get on with that.
I had some Grubhub today, and yeah.
What's up with that? What's up with that charge? Oh God, don't get me started.
I mean, on the positive side, I didn't have to leave my house, so...
Yeah, so you're paid for that. Honestly, I went to Popeyes in, the downtown Schenectady, which is not the greatest area. And while I was waiting in line, looking at the bulletproof glass in the drive-thru, I was like, maybe I should just pay the $5 delivery fee and have it brought to the apartment. I think my life is worth $5.
I mean, depends.
Depends. During an interview this week with Cinema Blend, Kevin Feige said that when they're ready to bring back Daredevil, confirmed Charlie Cox will be playing the role in the MCU. So he's part of the MCU. He's not done being Daredevil. I would hope not. I just don't know where he really fits in right now. So I think that's probably what they're trying to figure out too.
Yeah, because Marvel at that point had like the Netflix street level thing, and I don't know. In my opinion, I think most of it worked. I mean, Iron Fist was what it was. I think Luke Cage kind of stretched a little bit too much, but I did enjoy it. Yeah, and then Daredevil was just the shining beacon of what would become Disney Plus original series.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I hope so. Charlie Cox is a fantastic Matt Murdock. I really enjoy that show. I've gone back and rewatched that show and just that show.
Oh, really? So yeah. It is really good.
I'm hoping he shows up, and we'll see. I mean. I almost hope it's a series, too. Like, I kind of don't want a Daredevil movie.
Right.
I would prefer a series, but we'll see. If I can get more Daredevil, I'll take it.
They just released a show on Disney Plus called Daredevils.
I'm down. Do it.
Why not? Yeah, but that's good news. I liked him as Daredevil as well. I guess we'll never be getting Ben Affleck back. There was rumors that he turned down the role for Batman. So... Again, like what for the HBO TV show. So,
listen, if you really want to fuck with people, Kevin Feige, just one scene in Multiverse of Madness, and like fucking Ben Affleck comes out, is like Snoogans, and then leaves
with the Daredevil mask on. Yes, please. I would. I mean. Kevin Feige would be the person to do that. That would be Multiverse of Madness. That would be our friend, not our friend, the person that I worship, Sam Raimi, is doing. I wouldn't put him by him to do anything. He's gonna not do anything. But
I picture Kevin Feige in his office, just like answering phone calls all day, and then like maybe calling people, and him being like, "Ben, come on, man. Let's do something for this multiverse thing. Like 5 minutes. We'll take 5. We'll pay you like $2 million, $20 million, 5 minutes of your time."
Yeah.
And he calls up Raimi. He's like, "Listen, it's that, or I get someone else to do it because this is fucking Marvel, and I do what I want."
And I pick any director and tell them how to make the movies. So.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We're gonna jump to this awesome interview we have with Mr. Steve Mardeau, and we'll see everybody on the other side.
And we're back.
So check out Epic Tavern's Tales from the Fantastical Crimes Unit. It's a pretty long title, but the art is fantastic on the cover. Support Steve and that cool book he has.
And support Scout and everything.
Yeah, Scout and Black Caravan, the horror imprint they're doing. All right, let's jump into the comic news. Marvel has announced. Yeah, me too. Marvel has announced that the first new X-Men series, as part of its new era of X-Men books, will be called Immortal X-Men, written by Kieran Gillen and art by Lucas Wernick. The series will focus on the Krakoan Quiet Council and their shady dealings. Does this interest you after reading Hickman's X-Men?
So I'm a Marvel Unlimited subscriber, so maybe I'll do it one day. But
one day in a year,
Hickman's out, I'm out.
Yep, that's fine.
That's basically I read so much stuff, and like Hickman's a guy who, when his name pops up, I'll pick up his stuff. Kieran's a great writer, don't get me wrong, but he hasn't reached that status for me personally.
Yeah,
and it's X-Men. I'm not, other than that animated series, I'm not a big X-Men fan.
I don't know. We didn't talk about this last week. I think it happened this week, but did what is it? Tom Taylor exclusively signed with DC?
Oh yeah, that was this week.
Yep. Yeah, which was surprised to me because is he writing anything else that's not DC?
So
I think he's like.
I mean, it's kind of a pre-pandemic book, but Dark Ages is coming out. But that was announced pre-pandemic.
Yeah. Okay. So I think they're like, oh shit, this Marvel book's really good. We need to lock him down.
He can do this shit at Marvel too.
Yeah,
oh my
he
God.
can do this anywhere. Anybody pays him more money, so let's get him on a contract. Yeah,
I honestly think that Nightwing's not getting a ton of buzz, but between Superman, which I know people are loving, and then it wouldn't shock me if they saw Dark Knights of Steel and were like, we need this dude in the long term. Like that book, we'll talk about issue 2 later, but that book is just phenomenal.
So good. Was Injustice not enough to keep him around? You know what I mean? Like, this guy built Injustice and then Deceased. Like, those are some pretty strong followings. I don't know.
Yeah, he's done great stuff. And I mean, he even did I didn't read it personally, but I know people that loved it. He did a run on Wolverine at Marvel for a while there, too, that people adore. So
yeah, he's a cool guy.
He's been doing stuff everywhere.
Yeah. Captain Carter will be getting her own limited series this March, titled Captain Carter. The series will be titled Captain Carter. Wow. That's like calling a Captain America book just Captain America, right?
I mean, it happens.
It happens. Could you imagine? Will be written by Jamie McKelvey with art by Marika Cresta. The series will see Peggy after she returns to the modern age in her fight against Hydra. Chris will be picking this up.
Yeah, I like Peggy. I like Captain Carter. I enjoyed that episode, even though I did kind of rail on it a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But I did enjoy it. I did. So I'll check it out.
I thought it was fun. I didn't. Yeah.
I think my criticism was simply that it was like it reminded me of the old cookie cutter What If comics.
Yeah, and is that really a criticism?
No, it's just that is what it is.
Right.
But yeah,
2022 will mark the 30th anniversary of the Marvel 2099 universe, and Steve Orlando is teasing something coming up for Spider-Man 2099. Man, they really just stretch with these anniversaries. He took to Twitter to show some early pages of what we assume is a new series that could release just in time for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. Yeah, 2099 was cool. I thought they revisited 2099 like a few years ago.
They did. I was just going to say that.
What's all the buzz about now? They're like, now is the time to do it. Like, now people care.
So this, I believe, is solely based on the fact there's a movie coming out.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So, Brevoort told us the secret.
Brevoort, he told us what's up.
But, yeah, a few years ago, they did, I think it was during Marvel's 80th anniversary, and it was 80 years, so it was the 80th anniversary, and then it was exactly 80 years until 2099. So, yeah, it was 2019. Okay. So they did new 2099 stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what you're thinking of. And
now it's 30 years.
Yeah.
It's now what, I don't know, 89 years or 79 years until 2099.
What I'm interested in is Spider-Man fans are probably going to correct me on this, but I believe it's the first time, if this is true, that a solo Spider-Man 2099 book is not written by Peter David.
Oh.
Okay. I think he's been in stuff, like he's been written by other people, but like his solo books were always written by him, I believe.
Okay. Interesting.
So that'd be interesting.
I don't see it on here. The George Perez news.
I forgot. I blocked that out of my mind because it depressed me so much.
Yeah, I'm sure if you're a comic book fan, you saw this week that George Perez announced he has pancreatic cancer in about, was it a month to live or 6 months? I think it was 6 months to live.
Yeah.
Very sad news. George Perez is like the foundation of all comic book art. If you're a fan of anything old school, even Marvel or DC, it's that guy who did it. Such a great dude. We wish the best for him and his family.
Vamp for a second. I gotta grab something.
Yeah, he did announce that he's going to try to do one more Comic-Con before he's not healthy enough to do so. He's still able to. His eyesight is failing too, so he's still able to sign books. He said that a lot of the sketches that he has to do this year, he's reimbursing people because he can't sketch because of his eyesight. So he will be signing books still. He's going to try to do one more guest appearance somewhere, and then that's it for him until he passes. He just wants to be with his family. So he's released a couple statements. You can find him online, but just such a great guy, and it's really, really sad news to hear from him. But
great guy, and probably number 2 on my list of greatest comic book artists of all time.
Yep,
behind the king himself, Kirby. The dude's done so much for this industry. Like, Crisis on Infinite Earths is just like the start of what he did.
Right.
And listen, I know we don't get these anymore, but like back in, I think it was 2000, Marvel and DC got together and did this little ditty right here. Based solely on the fact that Perez was going to do it.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
So, to anyone listening, I'm holding up Avengers versus Justice League.
Right.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. It really does.
Yep.
I felt bad for him losing his eyesight. I mean,
right. He'd been out of the game for a few years, but he influenced every artist in the comic book industry. There's no doubt about that.
And if anyone wants to see what kind of a person he is, I know not everyone likes the show, but the show Comic Book Men.
Mm-hmm.
There was an episode where one of the guys, Mike, had lost his home during, I think it was Hurricane Sandy, the one that hit New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And his favorite piece was this George Perez poster he has since he was a kid, all this stuff. So they got George to come in and draw this giant poster-size image of Mike's favorite character, and the dude almost weeps on camera.
That's awesome. Yeah,
and George was just such a good guy in the episode, so
he's a cool dude.
Fucking sucks.
And then I wanted to end on some good news. I didn't want to end on that.
Yes.
Ahoy. This was like I was following Ahoy tweets all week, and I was like, oh my god. More Wrong Earth, and then not only more Wrong Earth from Ahoy Comics, a lot of Wrong Earth, all the Wrong Earth. Ahoy announced this week that Wrong Earth is getting a first big universe-spanning, money-grabbing event in 2022. Yeah, they did highlight it as that, which is pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
They already got my money though, so they can announce anything after that. Whatever, they got my money. The event will be a series of one-shot comics written by Tom Pear. Okay, I'm on. Mark Russell. Okay, I'm on. Stuart Moore. All right. Gail Simone. What? Mark Waid. And Bill Morrison. Walter Giovanni. Michael Montanet. Fred Harper. And Leonard Kirk. Yes. This is amazing. They announced some of the names of the other books too, but the fact that other people are not big writers, but very talented writers. I mean, Tom Perry is a talented writer. They're
big names.
Big names. Yeah. Gail Simone and Mark Waid, people will follow them to these books that weren't reading Wrong Earth before. I'm just happy that we get them on those books. Cause I will follow Wrong Earth anywhere. And that's what I'm doing here. And I think I'm so excited for this. This is like the most exciting news to happen just before the end of the year, I think.
this lit a fire under me because I think I read the first Strong Earth, and then I just kind of haven't read them since.
Right.
Not for a reason of not liking it, just shit happens. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, I got to read all of Wrong Earth to prepare for this.
Yeah, you got to catch up. Yep.
So I'm I got the press release for this, and I honestly thought somebody was playing a joke on me. Like, it just seemed too good to be true.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
it's true. It's all true.
Yeah, I'm stoked for this. This is really cool and good for Ahoy. They've been busting their asses over there, making great books. So,
and they're getting people into comic shops. I mean, like Bad Idea Comics did it, but like Ahoy, I mean, their stuff isn't available on Comixology right away. I know because I'm a digital comic collector. I have to order my books in Midtown when they come out, like for My Bad and stuff like that. Yeah, we get reader copies because we're podcasts, but I still got to support those guys because they're doing great shit at Ahoy Comics.
Yeah, I literally every so often I see their books on the shelf, and once I'm pulling their stuff, we get we get copies.
Yeah.
But I think just this week actually, they still had copies of My Bad at my local comic shop, and I was like, I'll pick up a copy of My Bad.
Yeah, it's just it's a fun comic. Yeah,
right. And I like those guys. I mean, they're great.
Yep.
So, good for them. I hope this blows up for them, and I hope this means bigger and better things for those guys.
For sure. All right, what did we read this week? Da-na-na, da-na-na.
Well, I'm gonna guess that we read all the same books because I read 3 books this week.
It's almost like we're in a book club together, Chris. Okay, so I'm guessing you didn't read Batman 89.
No.
Basically, so we get the glimpse of Two-Face, breaking out of the hospital, but also we get a really interesting interaction with Duke, who is going to be the new Robin and Batman. So, the thing about this Robin is he's black, so he's more interested in helping out the black community. And when he meets that Bruce Wayne is Batman, he's just like, why aren't you doing more for us? But it kind of ends with the issue ends where he takes him to the Batcave and shows him around, and they're gonna start working together. Also, very important this issue, Alfred is hanging up the giant penny in the Batcave.
That's fantastic.
So that's there now.
Is it Dick, or is it like a new character altogether?
It's Luke.
So they skipped right to Luke. Okay.
I don't think it's Luke Fox though. I don't know if I missed that somewhere, but he's just a kid that lives like in the the bad part of Gotham, and he's a mechanic. He works with like a mechanic in the ghetto of Gotham.
Have they done that before, where it was like a black kid in the ghetto that became?
I'm not sure.
Because that's a really good idea.
Yeah, right, exactly. And he's been going around as his own Robin, like stealing food and getting it to families that can't eat, and he's like beating up on racist thugs and shit like that. So, it's been a really great story. Batman 89 has been really good. So.
Yeah, I want to pick that up at 7 at time.
Dark Knights of Steel #2. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Man, this book ends with a splat. First off, Harley Quinn being the court jester is just awesome.
I love it.
We find out that
that scene where they're walking through the dungeon.
Yeah.
And King Shark's in the background and like everybody else. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, seeing the dungeon was great. There's the conflict there of like Batman cuts Green Arrow's arm off, which is pretty great. There's some conflict there though of Batman being an adopted son rather than being the real son of Jor-El. So there's some conflict between the family, like you need to stay out of this. You're not actually part of our family. I'm sure that won't, come to any sort of fruition towards the end of the series at all. Like, I don't know why they're doing that.
No, that won't fester one bit.
Yeah. And then we see the Green Man going around. They still don't show who the Green Man is. I want to say it's the Spectre. I don't think it's Green Lantern. Unless do they specifically say it's a Green Lantern? anywhere?
No, they just say it's Green. Well, he did say he talked to his ring.
Okay, then maybe he is Green Lantern.
That'd be an interesting twist, though, for the Spectre.
Because like we see the feet, and there's all these like rags hanging there, so we haven't seen an image of the Green Lantern yet. Yeah.
Sorry, because Constantine has the line in there that made me laugh, which was, "It's always good to take advice from your jewelry."
Yeah, right. Yeah. Can't argue with jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're making you think it's Green Lantern. I don't really know who to root for here, if the L's or the Jeffersons are in the wrong. Because we see that, Jefferson, who is Black Lightning, we see his kids, and they all have different powers. So one controls lightning, one has like super strength, and the other one can call down rain, which I feel like he got shafted. And having powers.
And they try so hard to be like, it's been so long since somebody could call down rain.
Yeah,
it's such a good thing that we finally got somebody.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell?
Meanwhile, you got the most emo power set possible.
Right. It's awful. So you see Constantine working with them. You also see the arguments between Amanda Waller being like the head of the army for the L's, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of smart things, and then we see, we finally see Wonder Woman and Zala Jor-El, which is Supergirl or Power Girl. I don't know who. I think they're depicting her as.
I assume they were depicting her as Supergirl.
Supergirl, but her and Wonder Woman have a relationship, which is kind of cool. The dungeon scene was really good. The talk with Green Arrow, and then. Supergirl's so pissed about her father dying that she goes to the house, Jefferson's house, and grabs the youngest son and then drops him and lets him fall to his death, which is awesome.
Yeah.
This book is super metal, and I'm sure a big war is going to be coming from all these heroes. This is an amazing book.
Yeah, so I think that this is going to be a case of, because Superman has the line in there like you don't know what we're doing, you don't understand what we're doing, something along those lines.
Right.
About them taking all the magic users and killing them.
Yeah.
So my feeling is either Superman has no clue, or he's in on it, but they're probably taking them to the Phantom Zone. And just putting them away somewhere where they can have their own place, but not mess with the kingdom.
Right. Yeah.
So I agree with you. I'm not really sure who's right and who's wrong, because if they're doing something like that to magic users, that's evil, obviously. But at the same time, you did kind of shoot the guy in the eye with an arrow. So
yeah.
So we'll see.
The new Batman started. Batman 118.
Yeah, it did.
Did you read it?
I did.
Oh, shit. This book was really good. He starts it off by breaking and entering into a party where everybody's dressed as Batman villains, which was fucking fantastic. This is what I want out of a Batman book. I was so exhausted after James Tynion's run. The art is amazing. I gotta see who's doing the art, but...
Isn't that Jorge Jimenez?
Yeah, Jorge Jimenez, yep.
Yeah.
The second half of the book, Batman Incorporated is arrested for killing a villain. But Batman thinks there's a little more to it than that. I can't find the name of the guy they killed. Oh, they killed Abyss. Abyss is his name. So what we find out is Luthor was the one that hired Batman Incorporated. And now, they killed Abyss, so he wants to figure out why, or who was Abyss. I don't think I've ever heard of Abyss in any previous books, so I'm sure we're going to find out.
I assumed he was something from the Tinian run, but
no,
not.
It says who was Abyss. No, we don't know who Abyss was.
Okay.
So, I guess we're going to find out. Interesting story. I like that Batman Incorporated is involved, that it's like a whodunit. This is a new change of pace for Batman, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I love the inclusion of Batman Incorporated.
Yeah,
I love the overall inclusion of Batman Incorporated recently. DC, yes, more of that.
Do more of that. Yeah, do more of that.
I loved the background of Gotham with the fireworks and just the color and the excitement, but Batman's still standing there brooding.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was such a good contrast. I liked it. I'll keep going for a little bit. We'll see if it keeps my attention, but I did like his first issue.
Yeah. As someone who's been reading Batman forever now, that I think it's a good start. Let's keep the ball rolling. Star Squadron.
Sorry, a lot of detective stuff too, which maybe.
Oh yeah. You love the detective Batman. 1 Star Squadron. Mark Russell and Lieber on the art. This book was fantastic. It was so much fun. Basically, they're like low-level heroes that have provide a service that they were once heroes and part of the Justice League, and Superman promised them eternal glory, but now they just they're not that level of a hero. Red Tornadoes is the manager of the branch. He's trying to help this hero who left a mental institution to help him figure out who he is. He leaves Power Girl in charge while he's gone, and Power Girl goes to the CEOs and says, we need to kick out Red Tornado because he's not good for business, because it is just a business that he's part of. It's a very Mark Russell issue, but I really enjoyed it, so I'm going to keep reading that. World of Krypton was good. I don't know if I'll keep reading it just because it deals with a lot of characters I don't really care about. It has Jor-El and his wife, but I don't like the family members. I can't really get into that, the family wanting to betray each other. Mostly because I know how it's going to end. The planet's going to blow up. So,
yeah,
I can't really get into it. And Superman, son of Kal-El, great issue. Superman is off planet and Superboy is trying to find him. The Fortress of Solitude. He goes there to talk to his dad, and his dad basically warns him about Lex Luthor. He talks with Lex Luthor and helps him because Lex Luthor has all of these tech people that he's worked with before, and he basically puts them in a situation where he's like, "I'll kill you unless you wire me billions of dollars." And so the person that made his robot artificial intelligence tries to kill Luthor off, and so Superboy shows up. He helps him kill the robots, and then Lex is like, "Oh, your dad and I were playing a chess game," and then he completely obliterates him in chess because he read all the books about chess and all his games prior to showing up to meeting Lex, and tells him, "Okay, now that I beat you in chess, you should really do something about saving the world." And he takes that as, "Oh, I should go call the president of Gamora the evil guy." Because Lex Luthor can't do anything nice. He has to do it, the evil way. So this book's really great. Tom Taylor is such a great writer. I'm enjoying it a lot. I didn't get around to reading it, but Swamp Thing's been extended to 16 issues now. And it even says on the cover, by popular demand, extended to 16 issues. So that's how good Swamp Thing is. So very excited about that. And I think that's all I had this week. There's some stuff I need to read still, but that's all I got to reading.
Did you pick up crossover number 10?
I did not read it yet.
Okay. So in this issue, Powers picks up Brian Michael Bendis.
Okay.
And then they kind of interrogate him, and he's going back and forth, freaking out about the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then he basically says, "Well, I'm not the only one who created you guys. You should get an Oming in here." So then Oming joins in.
Uh-huh.
And I almost feel like those two were in a room together and helped write this, because their back and forth is just phenomenal.
That's funny.
It's like half the book is just them talking and everything and going through this whole interrogation, trying to figure it out. And then we go back to I guess it's the police station, wherever they're holding the superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
And so Wonder Woman's in the background. Thor's in the background, Batman was in the background. Now, they're like kind of Thor and kind of Batman, but like,
right,
you know what it is.
Right.
And the guy in charge is like kind of fed up. He's like, I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. We need to go down and talk to the guy who's writing all those pages that they were getting and figure out what's going on, like why this girl is a part of this whole scenario and what's going on with Powers and the death of the writers and everything. And I won't spoil who it is, but I'll do 2 small spoilers. First, they hint really hard that it's Alan Moore. And it's not Alan Moore, but I thought that would have been a really funny like twist.
Yeah,
because at one point he's like, "I need to go down to Sub-Level Omega where they're holding him." And his authorization code is Komoda, which was Miracle Man's Shazam code. And he goes down, they reveal who it is, and I think you'll enjoy the twist of who that is.
Is it Donny Cates?
It's Donny Cates.
Yeah. I mean, the guy would write himself into the book like that.
So let me say too, it's funny you say that because in the last pages, he even says, cut the secret identity bullshit. This is the worst kept secret and this whole thing, and you know it. His name is Donny Cates. The question is he really enough an egotistical hack asshole to write himself into his own story? And it's just a picture of Donny smirking.
What a piece of shit. I don't know if I like it or not. That kind of like upsets me. But yeah, whatever. It's his book. He can do whatever he wants.
So throughout the issue, they're talking about how... So, like, the Powers people are talking to Bendis, and they get kind of pissed because they're like, wait, you wrote everything we did? And he's like, yeah. And they're like, so you made me do these things? And they don't say what they are, but if you read Powers, you know some fucked up things happen.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that would be really messed up if you had some sort of trauma in your life and you met the person who, like, put those events in place.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
How much of a mind fuck would that be?
Yeah.
So they're talking about that, and they're talking about how like all these stuff with the hero, the comic book characters is all scripted and all this stuff, and it kind of leads to that. So I thought it was a really good issue. I like that ending, and I like how he's kind of self-detrimental about it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But
that's really cool.
But that's all I was able to read. I do have like Devil's Reign, Cap and Iron Man, and some Star Wars stuff that I have to get to.
Okay.
But Mike, that's all I have. Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter. Where can they find you and or the show?
Well, they can find me at Fortress Chris on Twitter, and they can find the show at Fortress Comics _ on Twitter or at FortressComicNews.com. Everybody goes 5 stars on the podcatcher. Like, subscribe, share, comment down below on YouTube. And if you want to go the extra mile, patreon.com/FortressComics. Thank you all so much for listening this week, and we'll see you all here next week.
Bye-bye.